It is estimated that 650,000 people globally are affected with dwarfism, with 30,000 to 65,000 of them being in the United States. What is dwarfism? Let's talk about it. I'm the Jericho.
I'm Laura.
I'm Brother Nichols.
This is Reconfiguring Reality. I guess you should find my notes that I have on dwarfism, right?
I mean, you could. But in the meantime, did you know there's over 300 distinct conditions known to cause dwarfism?
But what is dwarfism? Like,
Well, it's not a single disease, first of all. That's a misconception. People think dwarfism is like like dwarfism is one thing, but it's not. It's sort of an umbrella term that's used for anybody that has a short stature. But in reality, there's lots of things that can cause what we commonly refer to as dwarfism.
Okay,
It
wait,
could
wait,
be,
wait. I got one question. What is the height recommend or specifications for dwarfism?
well, basically, it depends, because dwarfism is regulated by two basic groups. So you have uh, disproportionate dwarfism, and then you have proportionate dwarfism.
the height doesn't change though. They say that um the the adult height of 4 foot 10 inches or less is considered to be a dwarf or somebody with dwarfism. Is a dwarf is that PC? Is that the right term? A little person.
So that's a funny thing, without going too far off this topic. Um, the thing is that like many things, the term dwarf itself is not always offensive to the person. It's kind of like, you know, I'm Mexican, right? But some people don't like being called Mexican. They want to be a Latino. But then that wasn't good enough. So then we had Latino and Latina, but then that wasn't good at all. And then they wanted Latinx. And then, so it's changed over the time about who gets offended by what. And the same thing it was with dwarfism. Like some people thought dwarf was a demeaning word, so then they wanted little person. But little person, people got that was demeaning because it made them sound as they were a lesser person, as opposed to being a full-size person. They're still a complete person, they just happen to be of smaller stature. But any way that you talk about them in a diminutive capacity, it already carries a negative connotation. But that's the problem. Small, by its nature, means that it is less than a full size. So they try to come up with lots of different PC ways of describing someone who is, you know, not your average size. But then they say that, well, what's average, right? And started getting, it's the same thing they started doing with mental health. You
So
could,
I mean,
you're
what was
non-psychonormative, right?
what was
And
wrong
they
with
go,
that?
well, what's normal?
You guys are talking at the same time. What are you
Oh,
saying, Brother
okay.
Nichols?
What was wrong with the word midget?
So nothing originally was wrong with it, but it became like many things, it was started to be used derogatorily. It was like Negro. Negro was not meant to be derogatory in its inception,
Okay,
and then it
so
became that way to a lot of people.
the important thing to remember about the height thing though is it's defined as an adult height of 4 foot 10 inches, but this is a result from a genetic or a medical condition. I am 4 foot 10, but I am not considered a dwarf because I actually shrunk because my spine uh started to curve. It's not because of a medical or a genetic condition in the terms that they are speaking. I'm still not classified as a short, like a little person.
All right, but no, I was doing a little research, and um, I'm not sure if this counts toward all dwarfism or just short people in general, but it says that they have a longer longevity than taller people do. They actually have a gene called the FOXO3 gene, which makes them live longer.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Yes, yes, I studied up on it today just for this podcast, and I mean, I was kind of shocked myself. There's actually a lot of benefits to being a shorter person. Um, when it goes to health and longevity, they say they have a longer lifespan. It says extensive epidemiology data indicates that shorter individuals tend to live longer. Shorter men frequently carry the longevity gene. It's a protective variant of the FOXO3 gene.
Huh.
There's
Interesting.
also lower risk of cancer, and this is funny. It's because taller individuals possess more a total cell counts, which statistically increases the risk of certain mutations. Another fun fact: reduced blood risk.
Reduced what?
Body does not have to pump as far against gravity. As a
Well, that
result,
makes
people
sense.
under five, yeah, so people under 5'8" have much lower incidence of I'm not gonna say this word, blood clots, pretty much.
Gotcha. All right.
So, I mean,
So
oh, go ahead, Jericho.
I was gonna say, you know, speaking back to you asked at one point what what happened to the term midget, right? As with many things, language gets muddled as people start to use things improperly. And um, originally, there was a difference between a midget and a dwarf, but they became universally swappable at some point, even though that wasn't really supposed to be what happened. They became just um, interchangeable. Originally, midgets um, were the two types of dwarfism I mentioned, proportional and disproportional. That was what the original words were. A midget was supposed to be a proportional person, just a smaller stature, and a dwarf was somebody who was disproportionate. So people with certain types of dwarfism are what most people think of when they think of a dwarf. Someone with like a larger head and torso, but smaller arms and limbs. That usually has peculiar body proportions. That's what they consider someone with a type of dwarfism. However, midgets are considered to be people who look like normal, regular, proportionally sized people to whatever size they happen to be at their resting size. So it doesn't matter if they are 2 feet tall or if they're 4 feet tall, they look like they were meant to be that size. So they don't have like a full-size torso with like small limbs, for example. Their limbs, their torso, their hips, their buttocks, their everything about them is proportionally sized for their height.
So, I mean, when you think it would be like, right for them to have those two distinct words to describe two distinct characteristics, I mean, wouldn't using the same word for both kind of mumble up things, especially when it comes to doing things like hospital visits or medical wise? Because if you call both the same thing, it's hard to diagnose one for the other.
Generally speaking, in the medical or scientific communities, they didn't muddle words. That's largely why the common person looked at educated people back in the day, especially, and found them to be pompous or arrogant because they spoke with authority and with a wide vocabulary. And they're like, "How dare you talk down to me?" And they're like, "No, I'm just using the proper word. You're mad because you're using improper language. You're using casual vernacular. And because you're just using two similar words for the same thing, right? It's kind of like the argument between what's the correct saying, soda or pop. Well, both are incorrect. The term is soda pop, but one side of the country prefers one side of the country prefers the other side, and neither of them are correct. They both shortened a word, but neither of them are saying the correct thing. They're both incorrect statements because they're not using the full word, right? It's like it's the same reason like if you wanted a generic term for a vehicle, specifically a motorized one like a car or a truck, you would say automobile, right? But nobody calls it an automobile. They just say my car, right? Or my truck, right? So that they get very generic with the way we talk.
I
And
mean, but to that point though, many people don't understand that a bicycle is a vehicle.
right. But that's why we have specific terms. And again, this is what happens when you muddle language. When you use things interchangeably or language evolves to adopt slang into everyday language, it muddies the water, right? And so that's what happens is um, good words become bad words. And by bad, I mean they become offensive or they become misused. And we have to, again, evolve our language. It's kind of like if the perfect example is like curse words, right? So like a female dog in breeding society, in show dogs and stuff, they call them a bitch. It's not a curse word, it's the proper term. But because it was used as a derogatory term to insult someone throughout the ages, it was adopted into foul language. Now that is what everybody knows it as most commonly. So when it's used, in the proper context, in that environment, to the outsider who doesn't understand this, they just think they're insulting each other, saying curse words because they don't know its etymology. They don't know that the reason they're saying it is actually proper and it's meant to be used in that context in that way. And because of that, right, their ignorance is is fueling that misunderstanding. But that's my point. Is so when you're like, why would they purposely mix up these words? Because it's what human beings have done since the dawn of history. Like that, it's as long as we've ever looked back at something and said, why don't I just start calling something a silly name? It's for it is, right? It's like why we say, that's my dog. Your friend is neither an animal, nor are they, a specific breed, species, or otherwise. But we've called them that, right? Because of X, Y, and Z reason. And things catch on. Like I remember we would say cool when I was young. But when everyone started saying, "Man, that's fire," I'm like, That's like to me. Even though I said cool, I thought fire was the dumbest thing to hear about someone say. Like it was just such an idiotic thing for me to hear someone say. Yet I'm here saying something's cool. Like that just sounds so much better to me. It's only because I grew up with it, right? So it made
No,
more sense to me. But
I'm gonna
it's
tell you
no
one of the most
anymore.
run comments I've ever heard. It's a hot day outside and somebody's drinking this cold water and they're like, man, this cold water is fire.
Right. Exactly. Right. Like, and that's what I'm kind of getting at. So in terms of what we're talking about, that's how the names and by extension other things just got misdone.
All right, Lorelai, are
Yeah.
you doing any research right now? Can you try to tell us what are some of the disadvantages to being I don't know if we should say dwarfism or a midget, just being a person lower than 4'10".
Besides the snacks being hidden from me on top of the refrigerator, driving can be difficult. You know, because you have to get so close to the steering wheel. My legs aren't always long enough. Um, I mean, keeping up with people with long legs has always been an issue for me. I don't know.
Matter of fact, let me ask Marquita. I got Marquita right here. Marquita, what are some of the disadvantages of being short?
Getting help with things. Like if I can't reach for something, I have to use stick.
Yeah. Or seeing things in a concert or in a movie theater, you think, oh, I'm good because I'm like up higher than the person in front of me, it's going to be fine. But even so, then that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Well, I'm gonna tell you guys, by me being so tall of a short person, I get the worst of both worlds. All
Oh,
right.
oh, cleaning snow off the top of a car. Horrible.
No, it's like me. Like I am tall enough, to see over the steering wheel when I drive, but I can never place my head on the goddamn headrest. Really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yes, yes, yes. I do know what you mean. I do know what you mean. I don't know. It's I was so excited when I was tall enough to ride amusement park rides. Yeah, that was always an issue. I
No,
don't know.
but at the same time though, being short does have a lot of advantages because I hear tall people complain about everything. I mean, for somebody who supposedly had the best of life, they show complain about everything. They
They
back
hit
hurt all the time.
they hit their head off things and they have to reach things for short people. Do you know that I'm short enough that I can't always use the sun visor in a car? Mhm.
Did not know this one. Did not know
Yeah.
this.
Yep. Yep.
Saying like that.
Is there anything else that we need to talk about for dwarfism? I mean,
Well, there's lots of different types too. There's like achondroplasia. There's dysplasia. It's SED for short. Then there's diastrophic dysplasia and Turner syndrome.
what's Turner syndrome?
It's a genetic condition that only affects females. It's caused by a missing or partial X chromosome. They only inherit one fully functioning X chromosome from their parents instead of one from each.
Ah,
A lot of dwarves suffer from like medical conditions, especially when they're growing up, like having like mutated or disformed limbs where they lose motions, flexibility, range of motion. They a lot of them have to have surgeries when they're very young to like straighten out their spine or legs or to so that they'll be able to like walk and move, and they have back issues and um curvature of the spine, like you were talking about, that's a common dwarf trait.
You know something? From what you just told me, I've come to my own kind of conclusion that the difference between dwarfism and myself, like being a midget, just a short person, is that dwarfism is not that it's not an inherited gene. It's the fact that you might be missing some genes or broken genes.
Yep,
right.
it can happen. So, like common dwarfism, for complications for disproportionate dwarfism is arthritis, back pain, or breathing difficulties due to hunch or swayed back, bowed legs, crowded teeth, delayed motor skill development, frequent ear infections, possibly hearing loss, high chondroplasia or fluid on the brain, uh, or no, I'm sorry, high chondrocephalus. My apologies. Uh, Pressure of the spine at the base of the skull, sleep apnea, spinal stenosis, a narrowing of the spine that may cause leg pain or numbness, and weight gain that may cause back problems.
Dwarfism also comes with weight gain.
It does, yeah.
Oh, that's something I did not know.
Again, it's due, a lot of times it's due because genetics and because they have disproportional bodies, it's hard for the mechanics. So your entire body is designed in such a way that by general locomotion, the movement of your body, you're exerting different muscle groups and you're losing weight. You're burning calories. when any of that portion of your body is compromised due to reduced movement, it's just like somebody who has arthritic pain or has been in accidents and have lost motion. Even though you don't necessarily think about walking around hunchbacked or walking around and not using your arms or legs as much as you normally do, you've now reduced the effectiveness of your body to maintain itself, whether that's heat regulation, caloric expenditures, etc. Proper breathing, proper circulation, all of that is like a negative that just keeps building upon your health. In other words, you're not getting enough exercise, you're not getting enough circulation of fluids, health, and wellness. And over time, it just is like a huge weight that is just crushing down on you and your health. So that's why you see, you're like, even though they have that gene you talked about that may give them a longer life, you don't necessarily see a whole lot of dwarves living to be 200 years old. It's because they have so many physical complications that they often die younger, not necessarily super young, but just, not living to be super old because they have all these other complications that come with it, right? Um, and with things like weight gain and all that kind of stuff, plus limited mobility as it is, and then you have a declining thing like you curvature of the spine and other issues, fighting things like diabetes becomes a huge issue, right? So um, it can be very difficult and challenging. And then there's just the general challenges of being a small person, right? Because if you have a disproportionate body, think about just how hard it's difficult just to find clothes. Like if you're having to buy tiny little shoes, but then you have the full size body of a, torso of a man, but you have short arms, you can't wear just any shirt, right? If you try to buy like a regular shirt, you're gonna have to get that tailored
I
because if
mean,
it has long sleeves, they're gonna be hanging down to the floor.
you just have to go shop, adults to kids to babies, do some shopping around.
I do want to point something out though.
Hmm.
Not everybody who is 4'9" is a dwarf or a midget.
Oh, please let us know more about this. So I'm not technically a midget.
Right, you have to have a diagnosis. There has to be an underlying genetic or medical condition rather than just being short. So you would have to have a medical diagnosis of that.
You may have to
Okay.
test you, sweetheart, because I don't know, you get a lot of these bells and whistles going off.
Okay. So, Lorelai. So what? Okay. What test will actually classify a person as a midget or a dwarf?
It would be a DNA test.
Yeah, genetic anomaly for most of them.
Which I think my son should definitely have a DNA test done because he is shorter than average. Um, but that's up to him.
I don't think it should be up to him. I think you should just throw him in a big sack and drag him down there.
Okay.
I mean, I mean, look at it this way here. All the men in my family are around 6 foot or taller. I am nowhere near that. Nowhere near that at all. But my grandmother is the same height as me. She is around 5 foot.
I mean, my dad's 5'2", my mom's 5'4". We were destined to be short.
Yeah, yeah. No, my grandmother. I have a grandmother and two cousins. They're both females, and we're all the exact same height. So maybe I got a female gene somewhere I wasn't supposed to get that fucked up my height.
It would explain why you're so extra.
Oh, for real? Oh.
Did you know Danny DeVito's only 4'10"?
You couldn't tell?
But 4'10", like he's the same height as me.
Wait,
But
wait,
he's
you
not
just
a
said
little person though.
5'10".
I can't understand what you're saying.
You said say 5'10", just to make you aware.
4'10". Danny DeVito is 4'10".
What about
Like
the other guy? What's his name? Joe Pesci?
Joe
The
Pesci.
the one who was in Godfather.
Yeah.
He's 5'4". 5'4".
He's way taller.
Yeah, he's 5'4".
Okay, Danny DeVito, he is the one who played in that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, twins.
Yeah, oh my god, I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies. Two of my favorite movies have Danny DeVito in it. So, I mean, I'm a huge Danny DeVito fan.
And yet you haven't seen Jumanji with Danny DeVito in it.
What?
The new Jumanji movies have what? The second one has Danny DeVito in it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
I did not know that.
You haven't seen that yet?
Nope.
Oh, it is good.
I haven't seen the first one yet. I mean, I've seen the original with Robin Williams, but I haven't seen the.
Oh yeah, the new ones are good. Third one's coming out soon.
We're gonna have a big surprise today. We're gonna go in for this special viewing for the movie. It's gonna be the struggles of a man facing dwarfism his whole life.
It'll be Peter Dinklage.
So I'm guessing fairies, you know, like Tinkerbell, she's what, like a super dwarf?
What?
I mean, she's like 4 inches tall, so I think she's beyond a super dwarf. And she's proportionate, so she wouldn't be a dwarf. She'd be a midget, technically speaking. Also, the smallest one is that one woman from India. I do not remember her name, but she's like, I think she's like 2 feet tall.
Wait, this is real life?
Yeah, real life. She's like a doll.
Okay, I remember going to school with somebody, and I'm not kidding you. This was back in like 2003. But I remember seeing this girl coming down the hallway, and her backpack was bigger than she was. True story.
So her name is Yoti Amish. She is an Indian woman. She holds the world's record as the shortest living woman. She is 62.8 centimeters or 2 foot 0.7 inches tall.
Oh, what is she?
She was born December 2011, so she's 15.
Oh, okay. They do have record of.
Oh no, I'm sorry. She was born 1993, so she's actually. What they make her?
She's like 34.
Yeah,
They have a record of
32. She's 32.
The longest lived person with dwarfism on record is Hungarian-born American circus performer Susanna Bakoyni, also known as Princess Susanna. She lived to be 105 years old, 105 years and 122 days old, and stood at 3 feet 4 inches tall. She passed away on August 24th, 1984.
Well, I mean, so that proves the Fox 03 gene does improve longevity.
How did she die? Probably old age, right?
105. You want to know how she died? Like
Uh-huh.
she said, like it was a slip and fall accident or something. Like she made it to 105 and she slipped on the wet floor.
Oh, she died of natural causes. Okay. Is there anything else that we want to discuss?
I mean, I think we covered it for the most part for a short one.
Okay,
No
for a
pun
short
intended.
one. For a short one, yeah. That's gonna be it for today's podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share, come back next time, and we'll definitely see you in the next one. So, bye.
Bye.
Peace out.